Hey guys, and welcome back to my frag movie tutorial series. And today I will actually be going through how to record the movie. So this is actually going to be quite in depth, and I might actually break this into two parts if I start rambling on too much. But just to begin, yeah, I'm doing this for Oz Fortress. I've got my own column now, so you guys can easily keep track of all my movies either on Oz Fortress or on my YouTube channel, as I'm assuming you're watching it from. So first off, I'm just going to be going through the process of making raw footage from source recorder, so in-game to a raw movie file in which you can edit later in Sony Vegas and all that, in which I'll go through in later tutorials. So right now I'm just starting off with getting your demo. So I think I've already gone through that. You get your demo from anywhere, make sure they have a tick so that you can just load it up, go to the tick, and you can start recording. So first you start off by going to Steam, load up your game, double click on that link. I told you it's going to be in depth. I'm not going to leave anything to luck. If no one knows how to load TF2, I've just done it. Here's one I prepared earlier in the oven, and first off, your movie resolution. Most movies are made at a 1280 by 720 resolution. This is just the best way to get high quality movie at a resolution that's great on YouTube, that doesn't hit your hard drive space too much, and it's just really good to work with. So I'm going to be teaching you how to record from scratch, the way I did it two years ago, using the in-game source recorder and the console configs, which you can press up by pressing the tilde button. So just load up max graphics, 1280 by 720, and first off you need to start off by loading up demo UI, the in-game demo playback. Playback. Yes, that's good enough. So you load up your demo from. You can toggle in between demo UI by pressing Shift F2, just for those shortcut junkies out there. So you load up your demo from whatever folder it's from. In this case, I'm loading a demo from Thalion. That's how I pronounce your name. I'm not sure if that's how you pronounce your name, but if it isn't, just correct me, because I'm really bad with pronunciation. So I'm just going to load up this demo. Be patient when loading up demos, because they're pretty big files to load up, and just take your time. POV demos take up a lot more space than STV demos, so they'll take longer to load up, etc., etc. So in this case, Thalion has sent me a demo with a double MIDI on Granary at the tick 1750. So when you load up your demo, all you need to do is just go to the tick, and then I'll show you the commands in which you need to start recording the movie. Yes, patience is a virtue that I don't quite have right now, but yeah, in regards to the programs that you're going to be needing after this, you're going to need a codec to encode the raw footage that you're going to be producing. You're going to need virtual dub to compile all the images that are going to come out later, and then that's pretty much the two programs that you need right now. Well, Lagarith isn't a program, it's a codec. So you're going to need virtual dub, free program, great program, and Lagarith, the lossless codec. So now we've got the demo loaded. You can go to the tick 1750 by typing it into the demo UI like so and pressing go to, or you can type in demo go to tick 1750 like so, and here we go, it's loaded up at 1750. And what I like to do is I usually like to just watch it through so I know what I'm recording. So here we go, jumping up onto crates, and 1, 2. Okay, sweet. That's a great movie. I mean, great clip right there. Really short action. So what we have is, yeah, double MIDI. I'm going to go to backwards to 1750. The demo UI can fast forward by toggling the speed here, but it has a flaw in which it can't actually go backwards without having to reload the entire demo again. So yeah, that's what happens when you need to go back in in time. So what we've got here is a normal HUD. This is the default HUD. Usually I'd be using a movie HUD in which it gets rid of all the HUD elements bar the kill notices. You can get that from, I've got mine from Seeker a long time ago. I'm sure the Luina recording tool and the PODX tool have the movie codec, the movie HUD as a part of them, but I'll just load up one just in case you guys don't have it. Now before you actually make, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to just record from scratch right here, and usually you would type in a couple of commands to get rid of this one, HUD say text time 0. The default is at 12, meaning global chat text will actually stay up on your screen for 12 seconds. In this case you want to get rid of it, so it's HUD or HUD say text time 0. Next one is voice enable 0, meaning getting rid of all voice global chat that may happen in game, not that most of us competitive players use it. So once we've got that down, I'm going to be telling you guys the commands in which you can use to record movies. The most basic one right now is startmovie Thalion AVI. Now this was the old school method in which I used, in which it records the demo straight to an AVI footage. But this of course had the limitation of only going up to 4 gigs in file size limit, and you guys may think that that's a lot of that must be a lot of time, but when you're recording at a lossless codec, it's actually not that much of time. It'd be like 10 to 20 seconds. So we no longer use this method. What we do is it's just start movie Thalion, and what happens is that it records images, TGA files in which it records how many frames per second. The default frame per second when you just type this in is 30 frames per second. So what we do is I go host, we'll just get rid of all this. So what I have is bind O. This is just a random button on my keyboard in which I don't use, and you can use any button that you want. This is just far away from anything that I use in game, which is just convenient for me. Bind O, host, frame rate 240. Now this decides how many frames per second you're going to be recording at, and that really means that per every second in the demo, how many images you're going to be recording per second. So in this case, for every second of the demo we go through, we're going to make 240 images per second, and so if this is a 5-second clip, we'll be getting somewhere around 1,000 images. And I'll explain the differences between why we record at a high frame rate a bit later, and I'll show you the comparison between really high frame rate to just a basic 30 to 60 frame rate. And yeah, the next thing that you need to do is host time scale 0.0001. This was a problem that we encountered we, as in the movie making community, encountered a couple years ago. And Woot on Gotfrag actually posted this kick-ass thread in which he explains that when you record at a high frame rate, you need to make sure that the timescale is, some sort of low value like 0.001. Otherwise, you get really stuttery models like you might see in the opening of Random Damage on Freight, where the scout's legs are actually quite jittery. So when you're recording at a high frame rate, apparently there's some sort of equation in which you can use to find the right timescale, but you can just type in 0.0001 for pretty much anything. So that's what I've got. It does make a difference, but the difference in 0.001 to 0.0001 is quite negligible. And from there we get startmovie, Thalion, and so Thalion will be the name of our movie. I usually just have just any random number. I just press in 1, and so later you'll see how many images come out, blah blah blah. So that is our first bind, and so we got that. And the second bind that I have is bind P, host frame rate. This is just to stop the recording. 0, that's default. Host timescale 1, also default. And end movie. So now we have our 2 binds. All we need to do now is, I'm just returning the crosshair back to default, and now we've got our demo right here ready to record. What I like to do is when you start to record, right, you don't want to resume you can resume straight away and get rid of the demo UI, but you might lose a couple of seconds. So a cool trick that I've learned this past year is to actually turn the speed of the demo down to 0, so that when you resume, it's actually frozen and you're not actually going to lose any time. And lo and behold, when you press O, your bind to start movie, the movie starts again without you actually moving forward in time and losing any footage. So right here, you're going to have the movie recording really slowly. A lot of people ask me, what's wrong? All I hear is just a continuous loop of sound. That's actually the sound of whatever sound actually plays during TF2 the moment you press record. So a lot of the times I hear just like the soldier dying, just repeatedly, over this time where you're recording. So sometimes you just want to put some music on in the background, and yeah, you just bear with the sound. Sometimes you hear like a medic screaming like and it's quite annoying sometimes. But yeah, all you do right now is you just record and you just watch it record. I like to see how it's going. You see everything in slow-mo, see what you're working with, and then yeah, it's really quick. Good example to use right here. And once it hits the ground, I'm just going to stop the recording like so, and yeah, we're pretty much done with the recording. Press P, and yep, we are done with the recording. I pressed P twice because something happens there. So yep, now we've got our footage recorded